G'day mates, how you going? Hoosier Daddy here.
And Hoosier Mama.
We are on holiday celebrating our anniversary down in Australia, and this is a recap of day 18. And oh my gosh, today was such a great day. I loved it so much. It was like the top of my bucket list. Finally got to check that off. We went snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef. But
Yahoo!
We'll get to that. First of all, we had to get up early, and instead of going out for breakfast, we decided to eat in. So I wanted to show you what I got. Look, got some Australian products. I had some of this, and you've been telling me that this ice break is really good. So a little hack, use the ice break in place of milk for this.
And then you die of a sugar coma.
Sugar and caffeine, that was my breakfast. But it was really good, and I was raring to go after that. But anyway, today we went on a tour with Red Cat Adventures. We went on a big red boat called the Thundercat. We went out to Whitsunday Island and
Hook Island.
And Hook Island, yes. And it was so fun.
It was so beautiful.
Well, first of all, it took like an hour to take the boat out there, so we got to enjoy some amazing views and just sit back on the boat and relax and listen to some great music. It was so cool. And then when we got to the beach, our tour guide, her name was Shannon. Shannon and Dave was our captain. They were both great. So if you book a tour with Red Cat Adventures, you'll have some great people helping you out, I'm sure.
Yes, you will.
Especially if you get Shannon and Dave, they were great. But anyway, we got up to this beach, and we had to hike up to these lookouts. And another tip, if you do go, make sure you wear comfortable walking shoes, because it is quite a hike. You're going from sea level, all the way up to these lookouts to get these beautiful, beautiful pictures.
Yep, and I'm an old lady, so I have plantar fasciitis, and I wore my flip-flops, and that was a big mistake. So
yeah.
Make sure you wear your tinnies or something that you can hike in.
Don't wear your thongs. That's what they call them here. Thongs.
Oh, sorry.
Not flip-flops.
Not flip-flops, thongs.
But anyway, you get up to these 3 different lookouts, and oh my gosh. I was in love. This is like some of the best scenery. It was absolutely gorgeous. Amazing. I mean, with that pure silica sand, the way it reflected the light, I mean, the water was just all kinds of different colors of blue and turquoise and green.
Oh, so beautiful. And there were manta rays and lemon sharks swimming around in the water, just around your feet, because they're not afraid of humans. It
was so cool. And we spotted a few big manta rays on the way out to the beach. But it was really cool. So after we went and saw all the photos of the lookout, which, because we were going with the tour, it looked pretty crowded. But I'm not going to say it. So after that, we went down to the beach, which was a lot easier going down than it was going up. But we went down to the beach, and oh my gosh, it was just as beautiful down there too. The water was crystal clear and super calm. Actually, there was kind of a strong current, so I got in the water. Of course, I couldn't wait to get in there and swim. And being up further north now, the water is actually not that cold. It was
very warm.
It was just a bit fresh when you first touch it, but like you get used to it really quick. It was
fresh.
Yeah, that's what they say down here.
Oh, sorry.
But you get used to it really quick. It was a little warmer than Rainbow Beach, the last place that I swam, and the current was actually kind of strong. So because it's salt water, you can you're really buoyant, so you can just float.
Yeah.
So I just laid on my back. I didn't even have to kick or anything. I just laid and floated, and I was just in my happy place, just enjoying.
Until we ran into a boat that was parked.
Yeah, I did. So they had several boats out there that were parked right there on the beach, and I ran into one of the ropes they had, like anchoring them down. It was not a big deal. So I just got done swimming at Whitehaven Beach. It is absolutely beautiful. Kind of like the ocean version of Lake McKenzie. Such crystal clear water and beautiful sand. The current was really strong, but the water was so clear. We saw a lemon shark. That was really cool. So after that, we got back on the boat, had a lunch. It was a beautiful picnic lunch, just sitting on the deck of the boat. enjoying the scenery.
Yeah, we get to sit up on the front of the boat and look straight down into the water. Super cool.
Yeah, they fed us. And I noticed, you guys have to tell me in the comments, they gave us like lunch meat sandwiches, and they gave us cold quiche, which I've never had before. We eat quiche at home,
but we always have it warm, and it's always got lots of different things in it, like cheese, broccoli, maybe spinach.
Yeah, it was good, but it was served cold. Is that normal to serve it cold down here? Because I've never seen it cold before. I've always seen it hot, but it was still good. Had a delicious picnic lunch on the boat, and then we took the boat down to the first area to go snorkeling, which is on Hook Island.
Did I get rid of all my wrinkles, guys?
Is that what that thing's for?
Well, no, it's supposed to help the flow of
your
lymph system. It's a lymphatic drainage is what it's supposed to help.
Okay. Well, anyway, we stopped at this first stop to go snorkeling, and hopefully I got some good video. I'm gonna have to go back and look.
So many beautiful fish.
But yeah, they were allowed to feed the fish there, so all kinds of fish kept coming up. It was magical.
I don't remember what she called them all. There were blue and yellow ones.
They were everywhere.
Thousands of them all around our feet and swimming in between everybody. Then there were a couple of giant big black ones, and I don't know what those were.
The prettiest one.
Yes, go ahead and tell them.
The prettiest ones were like pink and purple and turquoise, just like a rainbow.
Rainbow of colors.
Yeah, they were so beautiful. I tried to get some video. I was having an issue. We have these little things that we can put our cell phones in, and it's supposed to be waterproof cover, so I tried to get some video footage with that. And then I also had my GoPro, but it wasn't charged well enough, so I only got a little bit of GoPro footage. So
that's okay.
But even if we did get some good footage, it doesn't compare with the experience of being there and just seeing it all. Yeah. It was magical. I was in love. It was just, as they say back home, it just keeps getting gooder and gooder. And it did get gooder because our second stop to go snorkeling was on the reef. This was not so much to see the fish, although there were fish. This was more to admire the reef. And you can swim like right up to the edge of the reef. You weren't supposed to go over it, but you just swim on the edge and just swim along. And because the wetsuits were kind of buoyant and the salt water, it was still just easy to just float. You could just move your hands a little bit and you just lay on the water and float. They didn't give us flippers because they didn't want to damage the reef.
That could hurt the reef.
Yeah. So you couldn't swim down very easily, but you could see plenty of stuff just floating along the top. And
I had a pool noodle, and I put the pool noodle like on my head and under my arms, so I just kind of floated.
Oh, but it was beautiful.
It was amazing.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. And then, unfortunately, we had to come back.
And while we were there, I got something in my eye. So right now, I only have one contact in. Can you tell? But Shannon had to help me because I swore there was a big old chunk of coral in my eye. But when she finally got my eye all washed out, it was just a hair. So I'm safe. But I'm without one contact, so I can only see things halfway. So I had to walk around the whole rest of the day like this.
Beautiful.
That's what I was going for.
Beautiful. Oh, tell them about the French guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were eating lunch. So this guy was sitting behind me. I was up on the front of the boat, and he threw a little piece of bread out. And I said, is that how we're supposed to attract the fish that we want to see? And he said, I tried to attract women with a baguette once. It did not work.
Hilarious. So this was an epic day because snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef off of Whitsunday Islands, it was just beautiful. But what we were saying before is we had just finished snorkeling and it was time to head back. We noticed on the boat ride back that there was a bunch of smoke. Apparently they're doing more controlled burns. I guess they do a lot of those. It actually kind of looked cool, the landscape covered in all the smoke and stuff.
It did make the sunset prettier.
It did. Speaking of sunset, so I've been trying to follow all of your recommendations, and several of you told us that we needed to go have dinner at the Anchor Bar. So when we got back into Airlie Beach,
we ran up the hill to the Anchor Bar.
Yeah, it was really high, like to get a nice view of the city, and it was closed.
It was closed.
You neglected to tell me that it was closed. It's only open on the weekends.
Well, I'm sure they don't know the hours.
So we were told to go to the Anchor Bar for sunset views, and they were right. The views here are amazing, but the bar's closed. So we just hiked up a steep hill all the way up here and still can't get any dinner. But at least we did get to see the view. And there's all the smoke from the fires they've been setting and that noisy cockatoo. Hey, buddy. They're so loud. Yeah. It's a nice sunset. I love the cockatoos. Oh, hey, look at that. There's us. In case anybody was wondering where we live. Oh, anyway, we still got some views from that. Yeah. And got to enjoy all the cockatoos screaming at us because they're everywhere.
We did get a couple cool pictures from up there.
Yeah. At that point, we were hungry for dinner. So we walked down to the bottom of the hill and found a ramen place and had some delicious ramen.
Yes, very good.
And yeah, the ramen was delicious. Watching the sunset from the ramen place was still all right. And then, of course, we had to go get some gelato for dessert. That's something I've noticed down here. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I've noticed you guys have a lot of gelato places.
But not ice cream.
Yeah.
And we're the opposite.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ice cream places that might have 1 or 2 gelato flavors.
Gelato is not nearly as common back where we are, but we have ice cream shops everywhere. And frozen custard, too.
Custard, yeah. I was
frozen custard and ice cream, but not gelato. So it's interesting to see how many gelato places there are everywhere. Every time we've been, there's been a gelato shop. Oh, and just to wrap up, if you come down to Airlie Beach to do the tour of the Whitsundays with Red Cat Adventures, they did a great job.
Yes.
I did enjoy also where Shannon told us at the end about how to stay reef safe with everything while we're down here. So there are different types of sunscreen that you should use that are supposed to be reef safe because there's chemicals that can affect the algae, they call it. We say algae. But the algae, zooxanthellae. Zooxanthellae is this algae that has the symbiotic relationship with the coral. And it's actually what gives coral its color. And when we wear sunscreen in the water that's not safe, it can affect the algae. And if the algae are not around, then that's what causes the coral to go white. We call it bleaching, I guess. When the coral gets bleached, because that zooxanthellae algae is being killed off for one reason or another. So it's important to wear the proper sunscreen when you're in the water, and they are also making efforts to grow the reef. They have these nurseries where they're learning to grow the coral, and apparently other reefs all around the world are copying their practices because they're having such success with it. So
Shannon even helps to go out and plant the coral. Isn't she cool?
That is amazing. She was great. Okay. Hey, this is Shannon. She was our tour guide today. You want to tell everybody why they need to book with Red Cat Adventures?
Because we have the best crew ever! Thank you for coming out today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a awesome day.
Yeah, it was so much.
I love it.
So, anyway, I really admire how much they try to save the reef, because there was a cyclone back in 2016, I think they said, and something else that happened that caused a mass bleaching event, and the reef was damaged quite a bit. But they're doing all they can to try to rebuild it and save it. So I think that's great, because literally snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef has always been the top of my bucket list. So my life is now complete.
His life be like, ooh, ah.
No, I got to find something else to put on my bucket list now. So anyway,
I'm sure we'll find something for you.
That was day 18. Absolutely legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Yeah.
Do you like my nail color, guys?
It was so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed hearing us ramble on about it. Thanks for joining us on our adventures. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we are going on a scenic flight over Whitsundays. So I don't know what else we'll do, but we will be sure to tell you all about it. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Mwah.